Distinguished members of the Turkish Union of Chambers and Exchange Commodities, distinguished representatives of the members of chambers and women entrepreneurs, distinguished delegates and dear participants, distinguished colleagues and dear friends who watch us in front of their screen, I would like to cordially greet you all. I'm quite glad that we have gathered together despite it is taking place online. There is a path from heart to another heart which is invisible, as the poet says. We have an established bridge between our hearts. We didn't fall here from above, and we didn't come here as the inheritors, and we didn't actually receive this position out of inheritance. We worked and we corresponded with every part and stakeholder in our society. We struggled for coming to our positions. Other than the pension that we received from our state, we didn't have any salary, but the ones who have been yelling out without actually struggling for the best of our economy doesn't mean anything. And they have no idea what does the economic figures mean. I believe you are the ones who know it the best. They are the ones who have no idea what the opening of Maraş means and what is the Cyprus issue. And they are the ones who cannot comprehend the diplomatic messages that we convey as the president. It is not possible to explain them the economic issues. And the TRNC president actually invited them, but they didn't accept the invitation, and then they again criticized us, even they are not attending to their invitation. But you cannot win and gain nothing out of it. First of all, do you love TRNC? And other than that, do you have such a thesis of opening the Maraş region in TRNC? Didn't they do the same thing in Azerbaijan? And didn't they do the same thing in Syria? And didn't they do the same thing in Libya? Yes, they did. And right now they are criticizing us based on such topics. They have no wrong or right idea. They have no project for our country. They are only the triggers of the external scenarios, and they have no right to speak about the economy. It is ridiculous for them to speak about the economy. If we see a tiny bit of honesty, of course we will discuss with them the issues, but we have committed to our society, to our nation, that we will work with the people who have projects in their minds, and we will work and cooperate with the politicians who have projects in their minds. But we will never cooperate with the politicians who are not even blushing after their hypocrisies are being revealed out. As we said, always we are responsible towards our nation, and we are responsible towards the business sector which is working for the welfare of our society. Of course, trade, industry and commerce, it is a business for commitment. And we are actually the politicians who have had the background of commerce and business. That's why we have always been cooperating with our tradesmen, with our artisans, with our artists and with our businessmen. And we have always sided with them. We have always attended to the council meetings and the board meetings of the Turkish Union of Chambers and Exchange Commodities. We have attached significant importance to them. When we sought for actually the hero for the local Turkish car, you actually applied for such an important project, and you have fulfilled the words that you have given towards our nation, and you have realized step by step the national project of producing the local car. Hopefully, with your support, we will realize this project as well. And due to the sad memories of the Adnan Menderes, the executed prime minister, has received has given its name to an island, and we have converted the name of this island to the island of democracy. Of course, this year is quite interesting due to the coronavirus, and as you know, the general board meeting of the Turkish Union of Chambers and Exchange Commodities have been postponed due to the aforesaid reasons. That's why we would like to come together with our business world via online. First and foremost, I would like to state that there are many friends who have been infected with coronavirus among you. I wish them fast recovery. I pray for God for their healings. Hopefully, God will allow you to come back together with your colleagues, and hopefully those times will be over very soon. The representatives of the chambers and exchange commodities are representing the economy in all our 81 provinces. And in addition to that, I also would like to state that due to the high interest rates, we actually want you to convey your messages to the decision makers who are actually on the field, because we know how bad the interest rates can be, and what the high interest rates can lead up to. With high interest rates, do you think that we can invest? Do you think we can produce employment? It's not possible. We cannot even produce with high interest rates. And do you think that we can take serious steps for growing our exports with the high interest rates? It's not possible. That's why we should be really careful. And we shouldn't lose our investors against the high interest rates. That's why we always have consulted with you, who are the representatives of the economic world in Turkey. In every steps that we take and in every decision that we have taken so far, we have benefited from the consensus with the common mentality that we have had with you. And we are discussing the expectations of different stakeholders of the society by discussing with you, so that we can prepare the solutions. In the last 18 years, Turkey has progressed a lot in terms of economic development and democracy promotion. And, of course, our chambers and exchange commodities were the engine of this economic growth, and they have contributed a lot to the development of the Turkish economy. I have had the chance of speaking with many industrialists and businessmen, and when I have spoken with them, they always told me that due to the high interest rates, I went bankrupt. And they have stated that this is the amount of the interest rate that I have had to pay. I mean, do you think that it will be logical and fair to oppress those people who have been complaining about the interest rates, high interest rates? Hopefully, we will reverse this process, and with your support, we will overcome every obstacles and barriers in front of us, and we will march towards our targets. And we will establish economy which is out of high interest rates, and from the money flow to the incentives, hopefully we will realize more incentive packages, of course. The highest credit incentives have been initiated by the Credit Guarantee Fund during this term, and we have postponed the tax collection and the premium collections by 6 months, especially in the fields which have been affected most negatively by the pandemic, and the necessary law has been accepted and ratified by our parliament regarding to those issues. And a new era is expecting us. From now on, we will focus on export, investments and production. Shoulder to shoulder, by cooperating, we will overcome those challenging times, and hopefully we will reach to our target of strong and great Turkey. Once again, I really would like you to stand next to our investors, and you should never forget that the president is siding by the producers and investors of this country. Please do not lose your ambitions. Dear brothers and sisters, we want a sustainable economy, and we have defined a sustainable economy as the core priority of our policies for the last 18 years. In a comprehensive approach, we try to provide services which will touch every person in our 81 provinces. With the market economy mentality, with the transparent and foreseeable policies, we have developed the economy of our country, and we made Turkey much more stronger. As we do today, we have always been in contact and correspondence with each stakeholder in our society. The greatest economic development initiative has been initiated in our term, and our export has reached to $152 billion. Income per capita has reached to the level of 12,500, so that Turkey became one of the countries among mid-high income countries. The FDI coming to Turkey reached to $138 billion, and we have reduced the inflation rate to the level of 4% from 32%, and the interest rates were reduced in a groundbreaking level. As Turkey was advancing towards its 2023 targets, unfortunately, we have had to face with domestic and external attacks. Those attacks have been initiated with the Occupy Gezi events, and although many ambitions have been set forth with the failed coup attempt against our economy, we have foiled the game of those evil of access. And we have focused on our economic independence, and while doing this, we didn't ignore the possibilities for further investments, and we have realized hundreds of projects for the welfare of our economy. We didn't only defend ourselves, but in order to become a regional and global power, we have taken very important steps, and we have realized many impossible projects with our strong industrial infrastructure and rich labor force, and our entrepreneurs who have been focusing on the innovations. We have found solutions to overcome aforesaid problems. It is obvious and appreciated by the whole globe where our defense industry has reached so far. Our third airport in Istanbul is one of the most important infrastructure for the 2053 vision of our country, from education to health to the transportation to the defense. The historical projects have been realized during this economic independence war. Once again, we have understood the importance of our city hospitals during the pandemic era, and in addition to that, our general health insurance system is another story of success. In Istanbul Atatürk Airport, also in Sancaktepe province, within a 2-month time frame, we have constructed the city hospitals with 1,800 bed capacity. After a plane lands, then our patients will be reaching to the hospitals within 5 minutes only. Why did we construct all those hospitals? We have constructed those hospitals in our fight against the coronavirus. As we continued with those projects, of course, at the same time, in the Başakşehir province, we have constructed another great hospital. And I also would like to state that we have taken very important steps in our fight against the coronavirus in our Başakşehir City Hospital. With the reforms that we have materialized so far, Turkey climbed the rankings of ease of doing business by 27 actually place. So, in order to explain this in another saying, in 2007, people were able to establish their business within 38 days, but right now this can be realized under 7 days. And, of course, Turkey, together with the world, is entering into a new era due to the pandemic. And Turkey is being shown as one of the focal point for further investment. So we cannot gear up today. We have to change our cars, and we are committed to do whatever it is necessary in order to boost our economy. Dear friends, the legal reforms are the preparation phase for this new era. As the administration who have realized the most important economic reforms throughout the history of our country, of course, it is our duty to realize the legal reforms. So, the final steps will be taken in order to complete those reforms. Hopefully, Turkey will go out of those preparation phases and will reach to the times of triumph, and we will provide the necessary conditions for the investments. In terms of economic development and employment, we will see that Turkey will be differentiating herself from the other countries in a positive manner. And according to the indications that are coming from the markets, it is certain that the third quarter will be completed with a positive growth rate. Many of our sectors have had groundbreaking records. With our steps in the field of industry and production, our turnover index increased by 26.2%. Despite all the difficulties set forth by the pandemic, I am certain that this year's growth will be positive. Price stability and financial stability will be provided altogether, and it will be our utmost priority in our fight against the inflation. Our ultimate target is to reduce the inflation rate to the single digits. We will protect our financial discipline, and we will accomplish and realize the micro and macroeconomic reforms, and we will continue to our economic development with the investments being our basis, and we will solve the problems of the market by taking into consideration the market conditions. Of course, we are aware of the fact that the pandemic is bringing along many difficulties, but as the state, we will make use of our resources in a most efficient manner so that we will reduce those difficulties and setbacks. Hopefully, next year we will have overcome those difficulties and we will remember those times with a sad smile on our faces. We are certain that we know that we have a huge responsibility on our shoulders, but our ambitions are much more greater, and our patience is much more greater than our responsibilities. We have brought Turkey to where it stands today with your support, with your contribution, and hopefully with your support and contribution, we will make Turkey strong and greater. With those feelings and ideas in our hearts and minds, once again, I would like to say that I am very grateful that we have come together in this council meeting. Once again, I wish all of our sectors a happy and well-profited future. Thank you.
Buyurun Sayın Başkanım. Sayın Cumhurbaşkanımız da böyle alıyoruz efendim. Bir Türkiye Odalar ve
Yes,
Borsalar Birliği Ekonomi ve
distinguished
Teknoloji
President,
Üniversitesi'nde hatıra ormanına Sayın Cumhurbaşkanımız adına bir hatıra fotoğrafı.
on behalf of